What if the most profound work you would ever do for your mind and body required you to lie perfectly still and do absolutely nothing? Beyond mere relaxation lies the sleepless sleep of Yoga Nidra, a powerful neurological reset that bridges the gap between mid-century psychology and ancient tantric physiology. By hovering at the exact threshold of slumber, you can bypass the thinking brain to silence the sympathetic hum of stress and reprogram deep-seated habits at their very root. Whether used as a psychological tool to unmap the motor cortex or as a physiological gateway to the inner sanctum of Kriya Yoga, this practice transforms the simple act of lying down into a high-frequency laboratory for incinerating karma and reclaiming your inner stillness. Welcome to Yoga Nidra and Kriya Yoga, gateway to Turiya, the fourth state. Yoga Nidra, often referred to as yogic sleep, is a powerful guided meditation technique that leads you into a state of conscious deep sleep. It is designed to bring you to the threshold between wakefulness and slumber, a state where the body is completely relaxed, but the mind remains aware. Unlike most forms of yoga, there are no physical movements or poses in Yoga Nidra. You simply lie down in Shavasana, the corpse pose, and follow a guided meditation, which includes a body scan, breath awareness, visualization, intention, and deep rest. In this state, your brain waves slow down, shifting from the active thinking waves to the deep restorative waves, usually found only in dreamless sleep. Yoga Nidra has a number of benefits. The ultra-deep relaxation. Many practitioners find that 30 minutes of Yoga Nidra feels as refreshing as 3 hours of ordinary sleep. Stress reset. It is one of the fastest ways to switch your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and digest. Mental clarity. By silencing the inner chatter, it helps to reduce anxiety and improve focus. Stress resilience. By training the parasympathetic nervous system, you become more relaxed and more resilient to stress in daily life. Non-sleep deep rest, NSDR. In modern neuroscience, Yoga Nidra is classified as NSDR, a tool for rapid cognitive recovery and focus. The modern form of Yoga Nidra was developed by Swami Satyananda Saraswati, who was a student of Swami Shivananda Saraswati. In the 1940s, Swami Satyananda posited that sleep is not a state of total unconsciousness, but a potential state of learning and transformation. Satyananda spent several years researching how to replicate this state of conscious sleep intentionally. He turned to the Tantras, specifically the complex ritual of nyasa. In Tantra, nyasa, meaning to place or to set, is a ritual of installing mantras and divine energies into specific parts of the practitioner's body, transforming it into a sacred vessel for the deity. Satyananda realized that the mental focus required for nyasa triggered a deep state of relaxation and subconscious receptivity. He simplified this by removing the religious rituals and Sanskrit mantras, replacing them with a systematic rotation of awareness on the different body parts. He eventually systematized these findings into his 8-stage practice. In the early 1960s, he launched his modern Yoga Nidra through the Bihar School of Yoga, presenting it as not just a spiritual tool, but a scientific method for releasing tension, accessing the subconscious to change deep-seated habits, and providing a reset for the modern overstressed nervous system. The modern systemization of Yoga Nidra by Swami Satyananda represents a radical psychological pivot in the history of yoga. While he claimed ancient lineage, his 1960s formulation was deeply influenced by mid-century Western psychology. In traditional yoga, sankalpa is a ritual vow or intention. Satyananda reframed it using the psychological concept of autosuggestion. He taught that the mind is most plastic and receptive in the hypnagogic state, between sleep and wakefulness. He described the subconscious as a fertile field where sankalpa is planted. This aligns more with Freudian and Jungian models of the unconscious as a repository of habits and traumas that can be reprogrammed than with traditional Vedantic models of the mind. But how does Yoga Nidra relate to the Kriya Yoga of Lahiri Mahashaya? While Satyananda moved towards psychology, mind mapping, Lahiri Mahashaya remained firmly rooted in physiology, spine mapping. Kriya Yoga provides the missing link between the ritualistic nyasa and the secular Yoga Nidra by focusing on the central nervous system as the primary altar of practice. Yoga Nidra works on the peripheral nervous system, rotating awareness through the limbs. Kriya Yoga works on the central nervous system, the Sushumna Nadi, the central channel, and the spinal cord. In Kriya Yoga, the practitioner moves breath and awareness up and down the spine. This is essentially a functional nyasa. Instead of placing mantras on the skin, the practitioner places awareness in the spinal centers, the chakras. One of the greatest points of contrast between Yoga Nidra and Kriya Yoga has to do with pratyahara, internalization. In Satyananda's Yoga Nidra, pratyahara is passive and is achieved through relaxation. By keeping the body still in shavasana, the senses eventually switch off, allowing the subconscious to emerge. This is a top-down psychology, calming the mind to calm the body. In contrast, in Lahiri Mahashaya's Kriya Yoga, it is the opposite. Pratyahara is active and is achieved through Kriya Pranayama, life force control through the breath. Lahiri Mahashaya taught that by magnetizing the spine through Kriya Pranayama, the life force or prana is physically withdrawn from the sensory nerves. This is a bottom-up physiology, controlling the energy to silence the mind. The psychological influence in Satyananda's work focuses on sankalpa, a conscious resolve to change the subconscious. In Lahiri Mahashaya's Kriya Yoga, the goal is more radical, the incineration of karma. Satyananda's psychological view is that you can use Yoga Nidra to reprogram your habits through intentions so you can live a more balanced life. Lahiri Mahashaya's yogic view is that every breath in Kriya is designed to bypass the ego entirely and burn the seeds of past actions, samskaras, stored in the chakras through the fire of prana. Satyananda's Yoga Nidra is like the outer court of the temple. It uses psychology to stabilize the practitioner, making it highly effective for the stressed modern individual who cannot yet sit still for meditation. Lahiri Mahashaya's Kriya Yoga is like the inner sanctum. It assumes the practitioner has already achieved a level of mental stability and physical poise and is ready to use the body as a laboratory for high-frequency resonance. Kriya Yoga isn't just a metaphor for relaxation, but is the literal experience of prana vibrating in the spine, which Lahiri Mahashaya called the state of paravasta, the after-effects state of stillness following the practice of Kriya Yoga. The connection between Yoga Nidra, the Kriya Yoga of Lahiri Mahashaya, and the state of Turiya lies in their shared goal, the conscious navigation of the layers of the mind to reach the fourth state of pure awareness. According to the Mandukya Upanishad, human consciousness exists in 4 stages. Number 1, Jagrat, the waking state. Number 2, swapna, the dreaming state. Number 3, sushupti, deep dreamless sleep. And number 4, turiya, the fourth. This is not a state itself, but the substratum, the silent screen upon which the other 3 states are projected. It is pure unconditioned consciousness. Yoga Nidra, which is often called conscious deep sleep, attempts to access Turiya by using the state of sushupti, the deep sleep, as a doorway. By remaining aware while the body and mind are in a sleep state, the practitioner bypasses the ego and glimpses Turiya. Lahiri Mahashaya's Kriya Yoga approaches Turiya through the central nervous system and the breath. In this regard, Kriya Paravasta is the most critical link. This is a state of profound stillness, breathlessness, and thoughtlessness that is identical to the experience of Turiya. While Yoga Nidra is often seen as passive, Kriya is active. By directing prana into the Sushumna Nadi, the central spinal channel, the Kriya Yogi neutralizes the fluctuations of the mind, which the ancient sage Patanjali called Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Lahiri Mahashaya was often described by his disciples as someone who never slept. This does not mean that his body didn't rest. It means he resided permanently in Turiya. For a Kriya Yoga master, the state of Yoga Nidra is a permanent reality where the light of awareness never goes out, even when the body is in deep sleep. So the question is, does Yoga Nidra have any value for the Kriyaban, the Kriya Yogi? If Kriya Yoga provides such a robust method for dissolving karmic patterns, why would the Kriyaban practice Yoga Nidra? There may be situations when the practice of Yoga Nidra is beneficial for the Kriyaban. If a student is new to Kriya Yoga and they're dealing with challenges of unresolved subconscious patterns, yet haven't developed their Kriya Yoga technique fully, they may benefit from practicing Yoga Nidra. As well, if an experienced practitioner is tired or sick and can't practice Kriya Yoga, they may practice Yoga Nidra. However, in these cases, I suggest that they alter their practice to that of Kriya Yoga Nidra. This technique is a streamlined version of Yoga Nidra that includes the use of the Kriya Yoga technique of Om Japa in the chakras, instead of the rotation of consciousness in the body parts. This keeps the attention in the spinal centers, engaging the central nervous system instead of wandering through the peripheral nervous system, as in regular Yoga Nidra. The technique is simple. One lays down on one's back and does a few relaxing breaths. Then one moves one's attention through the 6 spinal centers, the chakras, mentally chanting Om at each one, moving from the Muladhara chakra at the base of the spine up to the medulla or Agnya chakra, and then down from the medulla to the Muladhara. As any sense impressions arise, one allows for them to dissolve in the vibration of the Om mantra. If you're looking to learn this technique, please see the link above to the special guided Kriya Yoga Nidra practice. In summary, the integration of Yoga Nidra and Kriya Yoga represents a powerful intersection between the modern psychological rest and the ancient physiological mastery, both serving as specialized gateways to Turiya, the 4th state of pure unconditioned consciousness. While Satchidananda's Yoga Nidra utilizes the hypnagogic threshold to unmap the motor cortex and reprogram the subconscious through autosuggestion, Lahiri Mahashaya's Kriya Yoga actively magnetizes the central nervous system to physically withdraw the life force from the senses and incinerate karmic seeds in the spinal centers. By bridging these paths through the hybrid technique of Kriya Yoga Nidra, practitioners can navigate the transition from the passive top-down relaxation to the active bottom-up energetic control. This strategic synthesis allows the modern individual to systematically peel back the layers of the koshas, the energetic sheaths, transforming the simple act of lying down into a high-frequency laboratory for reclaiming inner stillness and stabilizing the mind for deeper spiritual realization. Ultimately, the convergence of these two practices invites us to become sleepless sleepers, individuals who reside permanently in the state of paravasta, where the light of awareness remains undimmed even during the deepest physical rest. By recognizing that Yoga Nidra serves as the vital outer court for stabilization and Kriya Yoga as the inner sanctum for radical transformation, we reclaim our natural state as the silent witness of the three lower states of consciousness. Whether you are a newcomer seeking a neurological reset from the sympathetic hum of stress, or an experienced Kriyaban maintaining spinal resonance through Kriya Yoga, the destination remains the same: the realization that you are the substratum upon which all experience is projected. Through these practices, we transcend the limitations of the psychological ego, turning our awareness inward and finally waking up to the unconditioned peace that has always been present within. So if you have any questions about this video, feel free to send me an email at info@modernkriya.com. Also check our website at modernkriya.com and our YouTube channel. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.